video is to give you a orientation to the dashboard view. So when you log in, you're in the dashboard. So you'll be able to see on the left side, therapists, patients, favorites, library, programs, resources, and tags. It should default to the patient screen. So let's orient you to the patient screen. So the default for this is patients to be seen. This is a list of right now, all active RTM patients. So patients that are actively being monitored. This is the default. If you want to see all patients that include non-RTM, you would go to active patients. That's everybody in your clinic currently that's active. The reason we have it set to active RTM is for the remote providers to easily find the people they're looking for. So if we're looking for an active patient that we're not sure if they're being monitored, we can go to active patients and just type in their name. And it should find them if they're an active patient. Going back to my active RTM screen, you can see there's 250 current people that are actively being monitored in this clinic. And this dashboard shows the patients from left to right, the patient's first name, last name. When did remote monitoring start? So when was that folder first created? Not when they were entered into MovementRX, but when was the folder created? The RTM end date is right now set as a default to 60 days. This is a dynamic placeholder that can be changed at any time. And it's just a reminder for the remote provider who's doing the monitoring. We always recommend they look in the chart and they're picking a date that is 30 days past the last visit or whatever your clinic is wanting to do for that, but that's the recommendation. This is added by, so whatever therapist added the patient, you can see their name right here. I want to go back to my test patient. So all these rows are sortable. As you can see, I just did there on accident. Our test patient, you can see that I created the folder or added the person to the system. Actually, it's the folder. And then this is the monthly monitoring minutes. So this is editable. This is your goal for the month, 20, 40, or 60 minutes. And then you can see here, if I sort this column, you can see here that there's time. And what this is looking like there's a little bit of an error here, but this will be a progress bar that will show a color that kind of shows you 0 minutes on the left, 60 minutes on the right. And as we reach the goal, your goal for your clinic, you can see that monitoring bar as you scroll down. And you can also sort from least to greatest or greatest to least, so you can keep track of what's happening in your clinic. Who's getting monitored, what providers are the ones that are adding these patients to the system. So you can really just get a sense of, all right, here's my progress. I can even go to 100 patients at a time if I wanted to look at the whole clinic. So you can see these are all the people that are in the 50-minute range. Again, right now their progress bar is not populating, which it will be. So that's your progress of time. This is the last time somebody logged any time for monitoring. Again, so you can kind of keep track and manage your clinic. This right here, this icon, if it's green, it means a phone call was achieved or a two-way audio communication that has to occur outside of patient care time. That is required to happen each month in order for us to be eligible to submit RTM codes. I can sort this column, and if the telephone button is red, that means it has not occurred yet. The voice call, this means it should be labeled voicemail, but it's have I, here's an example. So the phone calls not have been achieved, but there's been 5 voicemails that have been left this month. And so that gives you a sense of, okay, we're trying. These might be the people that we talk to in person at the end of the month before the month ends, so we can be eligible to submit the codes that we have generated based on our time. You can see then finally the insurance type. Again, this is sortable. This should not have, if it's RTM active, it should not have any other insurance titles. It should all be a name of an insurance company because those are the ones you decided for your clinic who are eligible. And then over here under actions, I can open up the chart with this eyeball. I also can open the chart by clicking the patient's name. We'll do that in a second. I can add notes to this. Just on this main dashboard, I can type some notes and it will actually populate. It'll populate, and then you'll be able to see that there is a note, indeed a note there for that patient. Right. You also can see that I can star this to my favorites. I can hit more. I can archive RTM, meaning turning it off. I can resend the patient an invite if they seem to have lost their app on their phone or their account login information. I can also download the patient file. So what does that mean? That we'll talk about that in a future video, but that is the log of all RTM activity if an insurance company were to ask for that. So that is our main dashboard orientation. Oh, there's a couple more things here. We have, I can generate reports. So this is, we'll do this in more detail in another video, but I can generate reports, which is time-based. So if I'm looking for my CPT code report for the month of January, I can generate that. It will give me a downloadable Excel spreadsheet that has a log of all activity. And then also I can view previous reports, which is going to allow me to look at really just the dashboard. The dashboard view with all the progress bars and time and activity that we just went over, you'll be able to look at that month by month. So basically the month closes and it captures that visual. So you can view that as well. So if I hit view for the month of January, this is January's activity.